Something important is happening again in the world of technology. These moments do not come often. They are the moments when power begins to shift, when industry leaders feel pressure, and when large companies stop playing safe. Right now, the smartphone industry is entering one of those rare phases once again. A phase that reminds many experts of the early 2000s, when two giants first collided head on for global control. Those giants were Apple and Samsung. For many years, the smartphone market felt predictable. New phones arrived every year, but real excitement slowly faded. Designs looked familiar, features felt repeated. Many users started to believe that innovation had slowed down. That is why the past few months have captured the attention of analysts, investors, and insiders around the world. Something feels different again. The tension is back. The competition feels serious and real. This year, Apple surprised many people by regaining its dominant position. After several years of uneven sales and growing criticism, Apple released the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Almost immediately, analysts began calling it the most successful iPhone since the iPhone X. According to Counterpoint Research and IDC, the launch broke records. Demand was far higher than expected, especially in the United States, Europe, and key Asian markets. The iPhone 17 Pro Max did more than sell well. It sent a strong message. It showed that Apple was no longer following trends set by others. Apple was once again leading the market. For many inside the industry, this moment was seen as a true comeback. After years of criticism for small upgrades and repeated designs, Apple returned to the center of attention. Investors responded with confidence. Consumers responded with strong demand and renewed trust. But this success also created pressure, and that pressure was felt most strongly inside Samsung. According to multiple industry insiders quoted by South Korean and Japanese business media, Samsung's leadership did not see the success of the iPhone 17 Pro Max as just another strong competitor release. They saw it as a direct threat to Samsung's long-term position in the premium smartphone market. Inside the company, discussions became more intense. Senior executives began questioning whether the old strategy was still enough. For years, Samsung relied on gradual improvements and a wide range of models. Many phones, many price points, many variations. This approach helped Samsung dominate through scale and variety. But insiders now say this strategy is being seriously questioned. While Samsung spread its attention across many devices, Apple focused on one clear flagship, one phone that became the benchmark for the entire industry. According to people familiar with internal meetings, Samsung has now set a new objective. The company no longer wants to simply compete with the iPhone. It wants to challenge Apple's dominance directly, not only with hardware improvements, but also with perception and status. Samsung wants to force Apple to react, instead of always being the company that sets the rules. This thinking led to the creation of an internal project. Informally, insiders refer to it as the Korean Pro Max. This does not mean copying the iPhone design. It means building a Samsung phone that mirrors Apple's positioning and premium image. A phone that stands face to face with the iPhone in the minds of users. Some insiders describe it as a conceptual Samsung 18 Pro Max, even though the final name will likely be different. What matters is the role of the device. This is not just another Galaxy S update, it is meant to be the foundation of a new premium strategy. A phone around which Samsung wants to rebuild how people see its most advanced products. Sources say this project is being treated very differently inside Samsung. It is not about speed. It is not about beating competitors to market. It is about getting everything right. The goal is to build a phone that feels as refined and controlled as Apple's ecosystem, while clearly offering stronger technology where it matters most. According to insiders quoted by Asian and European tech publications, Samsung's leadership has set a strict condition. The phone will not be released unless it clearly beats the iPhone in key areas. These include performance, battery life, display quality, camera capability, and overall user experience. If the device only matches Apple instead of surpassing it, the project could be canceled completely. This approach is unusual for Samsung. Traditionally, the company dominates by releasing many models and covering the market through variety. But this time, the focus is on one carefully planned move, one precise strike aimed directly at the top of the premium segment. In developing this device, Samsung is studying not only Apple but also Xiaomi. In recent years, Xiaomi has successfully created phones that resemble iPhones in feel and design, while adding aggressive features like fast charging and strong hardware at competitive prices. Xiaomi showed that users respond well to familiar design combined with strong value. Samsung wants to apply this idea to the ultra-premium segment. This is a space where numbers alone are not enough. Status matters, design matters, marketing narrative matters, control over the ecosystem matters just as much as raw performance. Two areas are receiving special focus: the processor and battery life. These are areas where Apple has traditionally held an advantage. Apple often wins not by offering the biggest numbers, but by delivering smooth performance and long battery life in real-world use. Leaks suggest Samsung is betting on a new generation of its own chips, combined with a redesigned power management system. The goal is to beat Apple in everyday usage, not just in laboratory benchmarks. Longer battery life, better efficiency, stable performance throughout the day, even under heavy use. The camera strategy is also changing. Instead of chasing higher megapixel numbers, Samsung is focusing on computational photography, advanced video features, and professional level tools. The idea is to turn the phone into a serious creative device, a tool for work, content creation, and professional use, not just casual photos. But the most important part of this project may not be hardware at all. It is perception. Analysts often say Apple does not win because of specifications alone. Apple wins because of what the iPhone represents. It is seen as reliable, controlled, and premium. The iPhone is a symbol, and this is the symbol Samsung wants to challenge directly. Officially, Samsung does not confirm the existence of this project. Everything remains based on leaks and insider information. However, many indirect signs point to something major. Development teams have been reorganized. Research and development budgets have increased. Closed testing programs have expanded. The language used by top executives in interviews has also shifted. According to analysts, these signs suggest preparation for a major strategic move. If insiders are correct, the year 2026 could be critical. This may be the moment when Samsung presents its most aggressive challenge to Apple in more than 10 years. It will not be an iPhone killer in the traditional sense, but it could be the first Samsung phone built with one clear purpose: to take away Apple's psychological and symbolic leadership in the premium market. Many experts now believe this project is not a sudden reaction to the success of the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It is part of a long-term plan. Sources close to Asian supply chains say Samsung expected Apple to regain strong leadership at some point. And when that moment arrived, Samsung planned its response. Internal documents mentioned by South Korean business publications describe a turning point device, a phone meant to change how demanding users see the Samsung brand. These are users who chose iPhones not because of specifications, but because of trust, stability, and premium status. Unlike past years, Samsung is no longer trying to win everywhere at once. The new strategy focuses on balance, matching Apple's philosophy, but adding clear technological strength. This is not about bold designs or risky experiments. It is about small details that matter in daily use. How the phone feels in the hand, how smooth the interface remains after months of use, how fast the camera reacts when a moment matters, how long the battery lasts in real life, not just in tests. Samsung's leadership believes these details are where Apple has always been strongest. And this is where Samsung wants to prove it can compete on the same field, but with stronger cards. Even the marketing approach may change. Instead of loud comparisons and bold claims, Samsung may choose a quieter tone, confidence shown through experience, not words, letting users build trust step by step through daily use. If Samsung truly follows through with this plan, it would represent the most serious strategic shift the company has made in years. That is why 2026 is increasingly being described as a turning point, a moment that could decide the next chapter of the Apple and Samsung rivalry. And if Samsung succeeds, the smartphone market may once again feel like a true battlefield, not just updates. not just yearly releases, but a real fight for influence, money, and user loyalty. And in that fight, the question will no longer be about who is faster or more powerful. The real question will be this: who truly controls the future of the most important personal technology of the 21st century? The smartphone.